guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabella, and today we are going to be filming another little release week video. So happy release week to A Strangled Heart, and I hope you're really excited about this book because I am so excited to share the story with you guys. So today's video is going to be the inspiration behind the book, my favorite lines, and my favorite poems from the book. So let's get right into it because there is quite a bit to discuss. So the inspiration for this book came from actually when I was writing a song. So if you watched the writing vlog I posted probably 2 weeks ago by the time this video is out, then you would have been aware of the fact that this entire story kind of formulated from a song I wrote, all because I started experimenting with the key of F sharp minor, which is a key I A never use, B never have written in, and C can barely sing in general. So it was kind of fun and was really cool, and I really enjoyed it. So it definitely gave me a bit of an experimental challenge, but also it kind of forced me to be very creative in the way I was composing the song, and that led to this book idea basically. And I'm so happy that I took on that challenge because at first I was going to trash it and I was kind of surprised, but I am so happy that this book is now going to be out in the world because it's one of my favorite books I've ever written, and I literally cannot believe that it's literally coming out tomorrow when you're watching this. Apart from that, let's quickly go over the lines that I love and the poems I love. So I know this technically doesn't count as a line, but I absolutely love the dedication, and it says, "For those who let their snake taste their own venom, and to those who helped me forget mine." Like, it's just so beautiful. And I know I sound okay, so my camera just cut accidentally because it was full. So let's basically continue talking now. Basically, this entire book, there are quite a few lines I really love, but I can't actually tell you because then it's gonna spoil the story. So I'm gonna be reading the ones that kind of just work simultaneously. So let's get started with the actual story and not just the dedication. So this is from a poem called After Saying Goodbye, and basically my favorite lines from this poem is, "The deeper I went in, the greater the fear that tightened my bones." And then I love the ending of this poem, and it's literally just, "But that night was still a wish after saying goodbye, now 7 months ago." I don't know what it is about those lines that I love, but I just can't stop thinking about them. Maybe it's because they gave me a lot of grief and trauma when I was trying to edit, but I absolutely love them so much now looking back. So the next kind of like stanza I really love is from this poem called I Didn't Want to Think of You, and I honestly don't love it entirely. Like, when I was writing it I hated it, but now looking back and like kind of just, I guess, reminiscing over this journey, I really love this part, and it's just beautiful. "A ghost of my past life pelt against the crimson rose in his hand. His eyes were yours, his smile identical." I am obsessed with this. I don't know why. It's just that stanza. It isn't the rest of the poem. It's just that one stanza I literally can't get over. So the next one is just like the ending of this poem called Betrayed Trust, and my sister actually helped me write this, and it's so beautiful, and I literally am obsessed with it. "I was the chorus but the sincere bridge, starring you as the opening act." Like, it's just so cute. Okay, so now we have a favorite poem, and I'm just going in like the chronological order of the book, so it's not actually like very organized in general, but I absolutely love this poem. At first I kind of didn't like it because it took a lot to rework, but now I think it's at the point where I can actually call it my favorite, which is kind of surprising, and I did not expect it. So it's called Hideaway. "Hide away like you promised when we first met and said, if I broke your heart, I'd let you go. If I hurt you, I'd apologize until things were right. If I didn't tell you to change, I'd be lying to you. If I kept you out of the spotlight, it was for your own good." So I can definitely say that this one's kind of more of a plot-based poem, but I absolutely am obsessed with it. So let's move on to the next poem that I really like. It's called Coiled Anguish. "Burnt hearts, I wish I had better memories of our time together, but they were only fragments of the bitter truth. The caution tape caught swaying in the wind behind you when you leaned in for a kiss. Flashes of a warning siren swallowed me whole before I heard the final track." I am literally obsessed with this poem, and I love the little formatting thing I did. Let me see if I can like just find this poem. It's so cute. Literally, I don't know how to describe some of these, but just, isn't this beautiful? I think it's cute. So I'm actually not sure how well I can see this. My lights are kind of blinding me, so really cute. I really love it. This is another little snippet of a poem ending once again that I really like, and it says, "You were a born musical snake. You got the record deal of your dreams. You had the fan base of an inland hyphen. You were the python of the charts, but you stayed camouflaged to break my heart." I don't know, I think it's the rhyming aspect towards the end that makes me really like this, but it's also so beautiful, and sometimes I wish it was a separate poem on its own. I think I've used this for TikTok as well, so if you've seen it before, then that's why. Okay, so here's another poem that I really liked, and it's called Voice on Replay. Your voice was on replay, replacing the bittersweet melody of the song you released when we broke up. I didn't think I'd be giddy or hopeful that something could still blossom. But I was too wishful until I heard your voice replay the chorus where the venom rests. So I think that pretty much speaks for itself. I don't really have to explain much on that one, but like, you need to read the book to really understand what's going on. So that's kind of like illusion, foreshadow kind of poem. It's really fun. I really loved it. And then this is a random stanza from a poem that I wrote. I didn't actually originally have this in the original draft, but then I was like, it needed something extra, so I added it in, and now it's like one of my favorites. But did you think about her when I was gone? Were you still seeing her? Was she nothing to you like I was back then? Did you still want her? It's so cute. And okay, maybe cute isn't the right word, but I really love how it like elevates the plot and the poem in general. So it feels perfect to me. And I don't know, I feel like you can't really change my mind on that. Okay, so the next one is a really short poem. It's called Wandering Hopes. You knew how to tighten your coil when I exhaled. And I was literally obsessed with that poem when I first read it, and I sent a photo to Talia, my critique partner basically, and she was like, if you don't keep this in the book, I'm going to come for you. And it was so funny to me because I always knew deep down I was going to keep in the book, but like a part of me was like scared I would accidentally cut it. So I'm glad it stayed, and it's honestly a lot of people's favorites, so I think that speaks for itself. The next poem is called The Poison Began Leaking. You started arriving home after 3 a.m. I never got a straight answer from you. You started keeping secrets from me. Again. 1 month into a second chance and you dropped the prey. I never had a proper conversation with you. Your presence came with the waft of other perfumes, nice from afar but unappetizing to ones without scales. I never thought you'd do it again. No girlfriend, just me. Oh my gosh, this makes me hate our love interest so badly. I literally cannot... He literally frustrated me so much. I remember screaming, and all my editing notes, they were just me literally hating on this guy, and I think that speaks a lot for itself if you really hate a character, but also it wasn't just me who hated him. So I mean, this was honestly just kind of funny to me, so I consider it one of my favorite lines, and it is from the poem called A Shaken Heart. You call more girls in the summer than in winter. Surprised I fell for you then. So it's kind of ironic, especially because I did not expect that to be part of it. It was actually one of the later revisions I added, but it just ties it in so well. So I just wanted to just throw that little bit in to really show our love interest personality. So this is the next poem that I really liked. It's called Thrill Divided by Loyalty, and it was really fun to format. So let's see if I can find it. Oh, I literally just skipped it. Okay, whoopsies. I love this formatting. It was a pain to do, but isn't it beautiful? I absolutely love the little division symbol. It just really adds to the effect. I'm going to read it from here. I loved you because of you. You loved the songs I held for the chart. I can't read today. Oh my gosh. I loved you because of you. You loved the songs I held for the chart-topping thrill. I hated you because of secrets. You hated me because of symphonic loyalty. You sought for tunes evoking thrill over loyalty, shrouded behind the orchestral cacophony, while I hummed a dictionary and thesaurus, searching for the next harmony, but I kept circling back to one. Disgust wasn't a word in my dictionary. It was an image of you. So, anyway, I don't think I need to elaborate on why I love that poem, so we're just gonna go with it. I really love one of these ending poems. It was actually the next poem. So, it's called The Second Bite. I gave you a second chance, and you used it like the first. You strive for your fame, strangling anyone who got in the way, and coiling those who appeared as obstacles. I wasn't someone who got in the way, nor was I someone who became... I can't read, oh my gosh. I wasn't someone who got in the way, nor was I someone who became an obstacle to you. I was the song you couldn't sing after I left. When we broke up, I called you a selfish pigeon. Ironic, considering snakes eat pigeons. The second bite hurt more than the first. I was ready to say goodbye when suspicions arose. But I had broken faith in you. You proved that you weren't worthy. Oh my gosh, I'm reading this all wrong. You proved that you weren't worth my love, and I was ready to give someone my all. I wish it was you. I feel like you really need to understand what happened in the beginning to really understand why this is really significant, but it was really fun to write and I really enjoyed it. So the next favorite line is actually another stanza from a later poem, and you get to see a lot more about the character's personality. So this is from a poem called Was I a Game to You? And this is my favorite. I saw your latest song title, the one we wrote together, and now you released it with another girl singing my part. So there's definitely a lot of foreshadowing in that one if you haven't read the book. So I feel like if you read it, it doesn't really act as a lot of foreshadowing, but when I'm just saying it. So this next little favorite line comes from a poem called I Didn't Forget Trust, and I love the ending once again of this poem. I feel like all my favorite lines come from the ending. So it says, your effect on me had hardened my heart. The piano played melodies that sang a ballad for the loss of Romeo and Juliet. The only difference was our fate. So I really love this one. There's just something about the way it makes my heart feel. I don't know how to describe it. So that's the only reason and only justification I have as to why I really like this poem. Other than that, can't really say much. And now once again, we have another really short poem. It says, were you the end of me or was I the end of you? I feel like it speaks for itself. Another one of my favorite lines comes from this poem called Facts Downplayed, and it says, I smiled when I saw you take the last bouquet again. I grabbed the white roses, paid, dyed the petals pink, and set them alight. I don't know why. Something about this just makes me so happy. Like, it is literally one of the perfect ways to describe the ending of the book, but without like fully giving it away. I did film a TikTok of me reading this poem, but this is like my all-time favorite poem of this entire book, and it's called Poison Kisses, and I actually want to read it from the book. Poison Kisses. I never knew that a smoke could have constricted my airways and singled out any oxygen except from your booth. Your smoke followed me to the flower markets, into the night and my room, waiting with the patient poison kiss in my once safe bed with a murderous skull of my minor heart. I just love it so much, and the only reason I really love this poem was it was the only poem that actually almost made me cry. So I feel like there's a lot of emotional significance. A couple of favorite lines comes from this poem called Emotions Manipulated. And once again, it's the ending. Shocker. You manipulated emotions, you manipulated hearts, you manipulated words, but security wasn't manipulated. There's one more line after this, but this is from a poem called Games With You, and I love the ending once again. And it says, now my new album was about to release. 5, 4, 3, 2, but it was still tainted by you. To quickly wrap it up, my favorite final line is from this poem called Suffocating Memories, and it says, the world sounded happier without you. Let's quickly wrap this video up with our little outro, and let me know what you think about some of my favorite lines and poems in this book. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you're excited for release week, and I hope you got to learn a little bit more about A Strangled Heart. And if you're interested, to grab a copy. So the Amazon paperback is actually out, but if you're going to buy from any other retailer, it will be out on release day, and ebooks are also going to be all out on release day. The only ebook you won't be able to find is a Kindle Amazon ebook, because I couldn't figure out how to format one, since a lot of the poems in here are pictures and there were quite a few issues in regards to creating those poems, so I just chose not to create an ebook in the end. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you with the next one. Happy release week.